Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about my November beauty favorites, and if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is put as many of the products on my face as possible, and I will kind of throw that footage in just so you can see the products in action. Of course, I'll point out to you what products I have on my face and which ones I'm just simply talking about. So let's go ahead and jump into some base products. So the first one I want to talk about is the one that I am wearing currently, and this is the Trinny London BFF Cream. I just started using this product. They were kind enough to send me some PR. They sent me this base product along with some other products, which I will be talking about. They are on my face. And the shade that I've been using is this light medium shade. And this is one of those interesting base products that kind of alters itself, alters the shade so that it kind of matches you. So this is a very lightweight, light coverage kind of base product. And it comes in this tube with like a pump at the top. And while I typically like to put products on with, a brush, I really like kind of rubbing this product in with my fingers. I don't know if it's because it does that kind of color adjusting, and I kind of like watching it happen as I like rub it into my skin. But anyway, I apply this with my fingers and it really has a lovely, creamy, lightweight, moisturizing kind of feeling to it. And I really enjoy that. I have dry skin. So it does have a light coverage. As you can see, you can still see my my age spots here. And I don't personally mind that. I really like foundations that let your skin kind of shine through and ones that don't give you like a mask-like appearance. So I've really been enjoying this. It wears really beautifully all day as well. I don't, with light coverage foundation, it's hard to tell if it fades because it is, it's light. It's not like full coverage where you'll definitely see where it's like kind of breaking up or whatever. But from what I can tell, it wears beautifully all day. I mean, aside from the coverage, I don't feel like I get shinier throughout the day. I don't feel like my skin starts to feel dry or anything like that. It just wears beautifully. So that is the Trinny London BFF Cream Skin Perfector. And again, I use the shade Light Medium. Another base product that has really impressed me is the new M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion Foundation. As I understand it, at least the last time I looked at the website, I believe the 3 lightest shades are sold out. I think there's 6 altogether, but I've been using the shade Gentle Light, which is light medium, and this does have an SPF 50 in there, and it is a mixture of chemical and physical sunscreen. So when you purchase the cushion, you get a cushion in the compact already, and then you get an extra cushion, and there's 0.42 ounces in each cushion. So you end up with 0.84 ounces, so almost 1 fluid ounce. But here is the compact for the cushion foundation. And it does come with like a teardrop shaped sponge, which I feel like I've already misplaced. I also feel like I just saw it too. Anyway, it comes with a teardrop shaped like flat sponge, a mirror on the inside, and then here is the cushion. So this cushion foundation has definitely a bit more coverage than this Trinny London one. It definitely is more of like a light medium coverage. I find that it is buildable, but it really has such a lovely like natural kind of finish to it. There is a little bit of glow to it. Again, I have dry skin, so I really enjoy that. It feels really, really great on the skin, and this wore beautifully. That I think was the most impressive thing about this cushion foundation. I did a wear test of this and I couldn't believe how my makeup pretty much just looked the same at the end of the day. I did no touching up. Maybe I was like a little bit shinier, but there was like no wearing away. It is a really, really wonderful, wonderful formula. I was, like I said, very, very impressed with this. And then the last base product I want to mention is the Weiss Invisible Touch Foundation. So this is a relatively new product for them. When it first came out, I tried the shade Feathery, which is M210, this one, and I did a whole video, wear test of this. It wore beautifully, but the shade was just a little bit off. So Weiss was kind enough in sending me an updated shade, and they sent me shade F136. It's called Ethereal. And this one is a much, much better shade match for my skin tone. And so ever since I got this updated shade, I've been wearing this foundation more, as you can imagine. It is really, really lovely. I'm not going to go on too much about this because I pretty much did like 2 videos. I did a full day wear test with Feathery, and then I did another trying new makeup with Ethereal. And I love it. I'll link those videos down below if you are interested in this foundation. And if you didn't know, Weiss is a 100% organic beauty brand. So that is really awesome. But again, I'll link those videos down below if you want a little bit more information or just to to kind of see how it wears on my skin. But this foundation definitely has quite a bit of luminosity, quite a bit of radiance to it. I want to say more than both the Trinity London and the M Cosmetics. This one has a really beautiful kind of glow to it, and it is like a serum-like foundation. It does have like a dropper applicator, so the texture of it is a little bit thinner, and it really just feels like skincare. So anyway, had to mention this foundation. As for concealer, I've been playing around with the Trinity London BFFI in the shade Victoria. Now this shade is just very, very close to my skin tone. So it doesn't do much brightening. And so I do have it around my eye area today. And I think I definitely need to purchase a lighter shade because I really, really love the formula of this concealer. So it's like a moussey texture. So it's thicker than the ones that you find, you know, in a tube with a wand, but it's a lot more fluid than the ones, you know, that you find in a stick or a pan. And because this texture of concealer was new to me, I really didn't know what to expect. And I was just very pleasantly surprised at how easily it went on, you know, blends very, very easily. And for a concealer, I want to say it's about like a medium coverage. So it's not really like full coverage. And I think it's a great match to this BFF cream base. But I think what really, really impressed me the most is that when I put it down, you know, because it has a little bit of emollients to it, I thought for sure it was going to be like kind of shiny under my eyes. And I don't like a lot of shine right underneath my under eyes. It really just all of a sudden develops this very, very like skin-like texture. Really, really lovely, really natural looking. And like I said, it just blends out beautifully. It's just really easy to use, looks beautiful, I think, around the eyes. And another product that just wears really well throughout the day. I don't see it fading throughout the day. I don't see it, you know, start to look a little old under the eyes. It doesn't do anything like that. So I am in love with this formula. So I'm definitely going to be getting a lighter shade. And in terms of bronzer, I've been playing with this new brand, or new to me brand, Vesca. And I did a video where I was playing with Trinity London and Vesca, and I've really just fallen in love with this bronzer. So this is the soft matte bronzing powder, and the shade I have is Kissed by Santorini. So this is the second to lightest shade. I believe there's 4 shades altogether. And this is what I have on my face today. And it is really lovely. When I first applied it, I wasn't sure if maybe it was like a little bit too deep for me. I think it works really well if I do want like a bronzy look. I do think if you have a lighter complexion than I do, this one may be a little bit too deep for you. You should probably go for the lighter shade. But if you have a little bit of a deeper skin tone than me, I think this would work beautifully for you, you know, if you don't want something too dramatic. So when I looked at this bronzer in the pan, and you know, going by its name, soft matte bronzing powder, I knew it wasn't going to be like a full matte, but I thought it was, you know, I thought it wasn't really going to have much of a sheen to it. It really has quite a beautiful sheen to it, but it really is just like the name describes. It is a soft matte. It almost has like a satin sheen to it. And I never know if the camera is picking it up, but it really just has like a very creamy, silky, satiny kind of finish to it. And it just looks really beautiful on the skin. So I've really been enjoying this bronzer. Okay, in terms of blush, I actually have 2 to mention, which is not a lot for me. But the one that I have on my face today is, again, another Trinity London product. This is their lip to cheek, like potted cream product, and the name is Pkwy. That's the name of the shade. And this is, I just think, one of the most beautiful, beautiful blush tones for the fall, because it has a little bit of a terracotta to it. It has a little bit of like a chestnut brown to it. It's so beautiful. So it is what I have on my face today, and I just love it. I love it. There's no like super high sheen to this. It just has a really natural kind of like soft satin finish to it. It is a cream product, so there is going to be that softness to the finish. It blends in really, really beautifully. And this is a product that you can use on your cheeks and your lips. I really have been using it mainly on my cheeks. I've been, well, you can tell, and we'll get to that, but I've been opting for more glossy lips, but you can use this for both cheeks and lips. So another winner from Trinity London for me. And then the blush highlight duo I've really been enjoying is from Melt Cosmetics. So this is their Digital Dust Duo Blush in Raw Honey. And you know, they're both considered blushes, but I do like to use the lighter one as a highlight and this as a blush. And today I'm using the honey side, the lighter side, as highlight. It does have a little bit of rosiness to it. So in terms of highlight, it's not like a typical kind of like champagne or gold kind of shade. It does have a little bit of a blushiness to it, and you can see it in the pan. There's a little bit of like a rosiness to it. But I've been liking that because it just kind of blends into whatever blush you're wearing. It just kind of blends in a little bit more seamlessly. And because this is such a strong highlight, what I like to do is apply just like a little bit, and then I'll use my Sonia G Smooth Buffer Brush. Here it is. My Sonia G Smooth Buffer Brush, and really, really buff it in. But it has such a gorgeous, gorgeous high shine without any micro glitters. It's very, very smooth. This is a baked product, so you can put it on in a sheer way. You can like build it up. It's just gorgeous. So I've been loving this, and you know, I purchased 2 shades out of this. So this is Raw Honey, and the other one is Buzzkill. Let me just show you Buzzkill. So this is Buzzkill. I thought for sure I would be using Buzzkill more, and maybe I will in the spring, summertime. But this Raw Honey shade, I've really been reaching for a lot this fall, winter. Okay, let's move into eyeshadow. This past month was like crazy, crazy eyeshadow release month. And so I really tried to kind of, you know, tone it down. This is my favorites, but there's so many good ones. And again, I'll start with what I have on my eyes. So Viseart came out with these Petit Four eyeshadow quads, and I really enjoy all of them. I use Leela in my dedicated video to these, and today I'm using Praline. And Praline is the perfect kind of bronzy color story. So I put the matte down, outer corner, socket line, crease area, and then I moved over into the deepest shimmer shade here, and I just kind of added that, you know, not completely on top of the matte, but just kind of like helped to blend the matte into my lid. And then what I did was I moved into another favorite of mine. I'll just mention it now, but this is the Trinny London, wow, I sound like a broken record, the Trinny London Eye to Eye in Mystery. And this is a cream shadow. And I just took a brush and I brushed that right over my, like the inner portion of my lid, and then onto the Viseart shadows. And I wasn't quite sure how these shades were gonna mix, because the Mystery compared to the Praline is much cooler in tone. So I didn't know if it was gonna look a little bit odd, but I actually love how these 2 products, the Eye to Eye and the Quad, how they just kind of work together. They just blend in beautifully. And then I took the lightest shimmer shade in the Praline Quad, this one up here, and I added that to my inner corners and just like the inner portion of my lid there. So this Mystery shade, absolutely love. It has been probably my favorite like one and done shadow ever since I tried this a couple weeks ago. The Viseart Quads, I love. They're $22 a piece. I think they would make great stocking stuffers. I think they're great for people who want to try Viseart, who haven't gotten a chance yet. There are 4 different shades. I love Viseart shadows, and I really love quads, and this was like the perfect marriage of that. Speaking of quads, this is something I just mentioned in like my recent discoveries at Sephora video, but this is one of the newer quads from Aether Beauty, and this is in the shade Ametrine Mini Crystal Palette. So there's 2 color stories that come in these quads from Aether Beauty. This one and one that's like more of a green gold, which I'm very tempted by. But I've been playing around with this one, and while I love all the shades and I really like how they work together, this one is so beautiful. Let me just watch that one for you. This shade is stunning. This is another one that I've been using kind of as like a one and done shadow. Sometimes I'll use like a deeper matte or just a matte to kind of blend it out a little bit, but look at how beautiful that shade is. It's like the perfect kind of peachy rose gold shade, and it's just gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful. I love the finish of it. It's really, really high shine, almost like a foiled shadow. So I've been loving this quad, this shade in particular. And of course, I have to mention the Byredo Eyeshadow Quint. So this is in the shade Corporate Colors. So this is the most neutral out of the 3 quints that they released. And I love this quint so much. It is so beautiful, and as you guys know, if you watched the video where I talk about this this quint, I am like obsessed with this one shade. It's called Eraser, and it's definitely a powder formula, but it feels and almost looks like a wet cream formula. It just looks so wet on the lids. It is just absolutely gorgeous, 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 and I love using that as a one and done shadow. We're sensing a theme here. I love it. I love all the shades in here. This matte color is just such a beautiful, interesting matte. It is very atypical from other matte shadows that I see in other quints and quads. You know, the matte shade that's meant to be the transition shade. It's this green. Let me swatch the green too. The green is so beautiful. It has like gold glint in there. And then the green is like this deep, deep foresty green, but it has like kind of more of a yellow undertone to it. Oh, I love it. Not only is this one of my favorite eyeshadows of the past month, but this is like one of my favorite like makeup pieces I've required this past year. And continuing on with eyeshadow, of course I have to mention the Wang Pearl Moonstone Luxury Eye Palette. This is such a gorgeous palette. I feel like it just speaks to this cool toned eyeshadow trend so perfectly. I love that there's like two pop colors in here. We have this peach satin shade, and then of course we have this incredible like electric teal shade. This teal shade, can we just talk about this? Anytime I've seen anyone on YouTube try this palette and they use this teal shade, it looks beautiful on them. This is one of those special shades that is very, very unique, yet looks absolutely stunning on everyone. It doesn't matter your skin tone, it doesn't matter your eye shape, it doesn't matter how you apply eyeshadow. It is just gorgeous. This is like one of those head-turning shades. So I've been loving this palette, but just had to point out and swatch the electric teal shade. And during the month of November, Chantecaille expanded their luminescent eye shade range to include Crane and Zebra. This whole eye shade range is so gorgeous, and I didn't think that they could squeeze any more like absolutely perfect shades, but they did. So Zebra is a little bit lighter than Crane. It is definitely like a multi-chrome. It really, the color shifting is unbelievable. So Zebra definitely has some micro glitters in there, but it is a little bit smoother than Crane. And I found in the luminescent eye shades that some are a little bit more glittery than others, and Zebra is one of the more like smooth, kind of like less glittery ones, even though there are micro glitters in here. But the color shifting is really beautiful. I mean, it goes from gold to pink to peach. It really is quite stunning. And then Crane has a little bit more of like a purpley, deeper tone to it. So there is Crane, and let me do a swatch of this. So I think what I love the most about Crane is that it has that slight smoky base where it just looks a little bit blackened underneath like the purpley glitters. Isn't that beautiful? It's almost like a day and night kind of duo. I love them. I love the entire range. I mean, if you're into shimmery eyeshadows, just really beautiful. So special. And then this is the last eyeshadow I'm going to talk about. I need to cut myself off because I could go on and on and on. Like I said, this past month was just really like eyeshadow bonanza. But I did want to mention the Tom Ford Extreme Eye Quad in Mercurial. Let me take the cover off. Here it is. And I have not had good luck with the Extreme Eye Quads. When I purchased my first one, I can't remember the name already. But anyway, I assumed that it was going to be, you know, like the same as the wet dry formula in the regular quads, and that it was just kind of packaged in this fun kind of chrome packaging. But the shadows are actually a little bit different, and I really couldn't find too much information out about them. And the other Extreme quad that I have just didn't really work that well for me. I didn't feel like there was a lot of pigmentation, or I just couldn't like get the pigment down. It just didn't work well for me. So I was a little hesitant in getting the Mercurial, but I really wanted to try it. I love the shades in here. We have like a little bit of honeymoon down here. We have a little bit of nude dip up here. So I wanted to give it a shot, and these shades work so much better for me. And this shade over here is the one that I'm thinking of when I reach for this palette. So let me just do a swatch of this shade. This is another great one and done shade. And to me, it looks pretty nude and pretty neutral in the pan. But when I get it on my lids, and I think you can see it in the swatch here, it ends up looking like a little peachy pink. And it's really, really, it's just a very kind of like feminine, pretty, soft, one and done eyeshadow look. If you just want to put this on, it's gorgeous. But this also has been working really well with some of these other eyeshadows that I've been loving, like the Trini London Eye to Eye in Mystery. It just works really well together. It just brightens up the whole eye a little bit. So it's been like a really nice kind of like duo to other like slightly deeper shades. So I love all the shades in here, but this is definitely the shade that I've been using the most. So I know I am forgetting to mention other eye products that I have been loving, but let's go ahead and move on to lip products. So I have been continuously reaching for these Fenty beauty glosses. This is that holidays collection set of 4. I definitely gravitate towards these two the most. The lighter one is called Baby Brute, and this one is called Cake Shake. And Cake Shake is what I have on my lips today. I have it over the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner, but this one just always speaks to me. If I, kind of don't know what else I want to put on, I've been reaching for Cake Shake. This if I want something a little bit lighter, but these two are really lovely as well. I definitely have been reaching for this one more than this one, but they're just fantastic. They have such a wonderful, wonderful texture. Like I have been talking for at least an hour and a half at this point, and this is still on. It's going strong. I have noticed when I put a mask on, I mean, if my mask touches my lips, yes, some will transfer for sure, but it seems to stay put a little bit better than some other lip glosses. So I love these shades. I love the formula. So a huge fan of these glosses and a really huge fan of this set, which I believe is on sale at Sephora. Anyway, I'll link it down below if you're interested. And then last but definitely not least, and I feel like I've been talking about this a lot, so I'm just gonna make this quick. This combination of Kilian Perfume, you just can't beat it. Absolutely can't beat it. So this is Intoxicated, which smells like vanilla and coffee and burnt sugar and caramel, like all of those amazing things. And then this one is Boys, which smells like Coca-Cola. It is the perfect marriage of everything I love. But I think I'm so taken by this combination and this type of scent because I have always gravitated towards lighter citrusy scents. Those to me are just no-brainers. They smell pleasant, they smell clean, all those things. They're bright, they're energizing and invigorating. They're kind of no-brainers to me. And so when it's come to other types of scents, I'm much pickier, and I'm actually surprised at how much I love this combo. But much like makeup, when it comes to perfume, I do find, and I think most of us do, they're very seasonal, but these deeper, warmer scents, perfect, absolutely perfect for the colder months. So those are my November favorites. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you've been loving down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.